Yo, SojuTalk Nation! On this week's episode, we'll be covering Fuego releases from BI, Monsta X, Mamamoo, and EXO. We'll also be cooking up some spicy news coverage and keeping you updated in State of the Nation. So prepare your body, turn up the volume because we coming in hot. Hit me with that intro! Hey, what's up, everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot at K-pop. We're coming at you with a super spicy episode 142, and we're recording on Monday, June 7th, 2021. I'm Doug, and joining me today, we got Warren.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And Anita.
Hello.
And as a quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on your favorite podcast platform, sub to us on YouTube, and join the SojuTalk Discord and be a part of the nation. All right, no announcements this week, so we're just gonna go straight ahead. We're gonna plow into part one of SojuTalk episode 142. We're gonna do some big new releases, choose a spicy song king. There is Hall of Spice implications this week, and hit you with the music show winners. Boom. All right, 4 releases this week. The 4 chosen, again, were chosen by our patrons this week. So if a song you liked was not covered, you know, it is what it is. We can only cover 4. If we cover any more, our memory isn't that good. I won't remember my comments about 5 songs. 4 is about the limit of what is considered acceptable for us. But the first song is B.I. Illa Illa. He is from IOK Company. Debuted 2014 with Show Me the Money, 2015 with Icon. His last song as a solo artist, in this solo run, was Midnight Blue. 27 music show wins with Icon.
Just a quick clarification. BI is actually from 131 label now. I think that changed.
All right, 131 label.
Yeah,
okay.
Just letting you know before other people do.
Well, now that you've started, how do you feel about this song, Warren?
Oh man, BI. Man, it's been an interesting career for BI so far. But at the end of the day, everything aside, this is his first full-length album. This is his first full solo effort. So you know what? At the end of the day, having been someone who's seen him since Show Me the Money season 3, I was kind of excited. Not gonna lie, it was a bit of a letdown. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Here,
Okay.
I'll focus on what I like, right? Because I think the melody is very, very well written. One thing I've noticed ever since everyone's noticed since Love Scenario is the way BI writes melodies is very pop friendly, very general public listener friendly, and at the same time it's very, very catchy, and it's also very emotional. So I think all of that is really, really well done. And I think if you've liked Icon's music in the past, chances are you'll like this too. What I didn't particularly like about it so much is that it feels a little repetitive. The production and the mix feels a little incomplete. The mix is a little flat. The beats are a little bit repetitive. One could argue this is minimalism, but at the same time, I'm gonna argue that it feels like it wanted to do more, but it didn't fully achieve it. So you know what? I don't think it was bad per se, but I do think I was expecting a little more and a little higher of a quality.
I personally think this is an above average song. I think with all of the BI stuff now that he's at the new company, really heavy on the vocals, and I think we mentioned it last time with his other songs that it's not like he's an amazing vocalist, right? He's not the best singer in the world, but something about the way he delivers feels very raw, and it works for what he's trying to do. I think
that works. It
just works.
I like his singing more than his rapping.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the singing I agree that the singing's been more of a highlight than the rapping, which I completely surprised based on what if you had asked me after he left YG, I thought he was going to double down on the rap, but he hasn't. He's gone more sentimental, more singing. I kind of like that. I think this music video is really pretty. There were so many close-ups of his face, right? That I had this thought. This is unrelated. I was like, nowadays, because the cameras are so high definition, right? And the lighting is so on point. If you have one bad pimple, do they have to delay the shoot now? Because even if you put foundation or some concealer on that, you're still going to be able to tell, right? Is it at that point now? Or do they just digitally edit it out?
Yeah, no, I'm sure you can digitally edit it out,
Yeah.
cut, like stop frame by frame, erase things out, and then go to the next frame, edit
Like you
it
can
out.
see, like these days, you can like see pores on people. It's crazy, right? Like, it's just, I feel like, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like in the last year or so, music video quality has gone through the roof.
Okay.
I don't know why. Like maybe because we were so used to the red and black dark meta where like cinematography didn't matter all that much because it was mostly
Yes.
dark rooms. But like now that a lot of people are doing outside stuff and the season's changing and other things like that and stretching outside of like the dark room genre, music videos are going crazy right now, I think.
I can't say like it's gotten better in the last year or two, but you know what? You know what I was doing yesterday? I was looking at Kara music videos.
Oh,
Back in the day.
Back, like Lupin Step, you know, like and then I saw these today and I was like, you know what? The music videos have gotten a lot better.
Growth.
Like just the cameras they use is just. But yeah, how'd you feel about this, Anita?
I guess I also feel like I had an expectation from this album, from this solo, as far as like being more leaning into his rapping and I guess the more harder sounding, more hip hop based, in a darker sense, right? Because I thought like, oh, the backstory behind his solo debut now is like he's coming back. Like you thought he was gonna be down, but he's trying again, right? So I feel like it had a good story where like, oh yeah, he could definitely do something more angry. But I thought it was really interesting that he kind of took a 180 on that. Like, not what I was expecting, even with his previous release. So I thought it was kind of refreshing because I think sometimes it does become very, I guess you expect that from hip hop maybe, or like from, I guess, rapping idols, where they want to be very, very hard, very, very intense. And sometimes it works if you're not. And I think
He's hitting
it worked
people in
here.
the feels lately, right?
Yeah,
He's
and
going
it's
for
working.
feels. I think it's working too.
No, I think it's working too. Like I if you think about all the people who take themselves a little too seriously, you know, like compared to that, I think that I like this a lot better. Clearly, if you listen to this song, like there are elements of hip hop to it, but it's being used as a tool for the like for the whole direction,
Yeah.
especially with the drum loops and whatnot. And even when we're talking about hip hop in general, like it's more of a trend nowadays to do the whole sing thing, right? Like if you look at people
True,
like Skinny
yes.
Brown or Ashland Island, or even like Sick K, you can't really tell if they're singing or rapping anymore. That's the whole thing.
Sing rap, yeah.
Right. And I feel like he is one of those people that are like on the fine line boundary between those two. And I think it's working. That being said, yeah.
Oh, can I say something? A lot of running in this music video.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it really plays into like the getting free type of vibes, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's clearly what they're playing into. Like homie ran like a marathon in this music
I am
video.
running away from the basement. Look at me go. Goodbye.
Another thing I noticed while I was watching this music video, maybe not specific to this, but it's like
Yeah.
any kind of like dark running scene in Korea, they always use like the closed down market alley things. Like they always do. Like even in the gang, like all gangster movies have that kind of scene, right? And in the shijangs, the markets where they have the shutters down, right? And it's raining and they run through something. I don't know. I always like that visual though, and it's really specific to Korea. I think that kind of shot.
No, it looks nice. I feel like older Hong Kong movies do that too.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
true.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, and like they always look nice. You know?
Ambiance, right?
Yeah.
know,
Mise-en-scène. Oh yeah.
Overall, I've been liking the stuff he's been doing, and I wonder if he's going to maintain this direction going forward. I feel like he will. I feel like he's trying to establish a certain direction for himself.
I feel like he should. I don't think he should go in the direction of I am a hip hop artist, rapper,
agree. I
MC.
agree.
No, I think he should go with what he's doing. I think working with Millennium, who's the producer behind this, as well as a whole bunch of other YG tracks like Love Scenario, that was. I would say that's normally a good choice, but at the same time, maybe it's time to kind of move on from that. I noticed Millennium's here, Choice 37 is here. You know, a lot of the familiar YG faces are in the production. And I thought, why are you doing that? You have left YG. Why not expand? go try other crazy things. Run into other people's rooms and demand their beats. Don't do that. That is don't. All right, let's move on. Monsta X.
Okay. we're on to the second song. Monsta X's Gambler. They are from Starship. Debut 2015. Last three songs: Love Killer, Fantasia, Follow. 15 music show wins so far in their career. All right, I'm conflicted about this one.
Oh, okay.
I'm conflicted because I think this genre of songs fits the Monsta X brand really well, right?
Okay. Okay.
And I think that they did well with the song that they had. My issue is I'm getting listener fatigue with this type of song. I was thinking, like, I know Warren has some examples, but one off the top of my head that this song sounds like is like a little bit like the Jessie song that came out recently. I feel like something like that. I think the main thing is like the distorted bass is very common these days. Something like that. I don't know how I feel about it because like I don't know why a lot of groups and artists have decided like this is the direction we're going and everyone's doing it now, right? This is the new dark like vampire black and red theme music video. It's this now, right? This is like what people are doing.
The whole intro sequence with the kick snare. That thing, like the moment I heard it, I was like, okay. But
you know exactly what this song's gonna be like.
Woods Feel Like. We had those two songs earlier in the year. Actually, Boa was last year. And I'm not sure who maybe started it. I don't think Boa was the first to do this kind of music in the current trend. I'm sure there's a person who's done this before.
Boa came to my mind too, as
right.
what I remember most recent, like the first one trying to do it as of late. I don't know.
And here's the thing, right? I think it's a versatile thing to do, and it's a pattern that works. And I think everyone's getting their little, hands on this new toy. Gotta try it out, while it's hot. And that's totally fine. I think that's all. That's all totally fine. At the same time, I don't think the production is fully there compared to the other two songs that I just mentioned, where it's supporting the members well enough to create a whole like persuasive track in general. And what I think, and this is gonna sound a little harsh, but what I think was almost a bit of a letdown here too was that Monsta X themselves, their performance it didn't really shine through. Parts of it again is because of the production and the way it doesn't really help the members, but at the same time. It really felt like neither of them are really shining through, and you end up with this whole song, which it flows well and stuff is there, but at the same time, as a person who listens to a lot of K-pop that comes out of the industry every week, 3 to 4 songs, I don't really have a strong reason to listen to this song. Other than maybe if I'm a Monsta X fan, then I would go back to it. Other than that, I would listen to Better or Feel Like instead. It's really painful to say, because
no. Yeah. It's like it's on a base level, like out of context, that sounds pretty harsh, but like I completely agree with you. Yeah. Like,
okay,
I like this type of song, right? The draw is the group. I don't think it's the song. I don't know.
Well,
I haven't liked this type of song in general. Like, I haven't been the biggest fan of these types of songs.
I mean, I really don't want to like poop all over Monsta X again, but like I think Boa and Woods had a really great performance where like I was like, it really grabbed me and I was like having a good time. Maybe it's because they were solo artists and they were able to draw out the pacing a lot more. Here you get used to something, member changes, what's his name? Who's the rapper? I forget. Juhon does his bar for 4 bars. Then you go into IM does his 4 bars. It's over before you know it. Which, might work and it's fine, but like a song like this, pacing is so important, and this is not, I think, a great way to go after that. Yeah. Now that being said, I've listened to Monsta X's music before they debuted, with No Mercy. I've heard a lot of good stuff from them. I've heard a lot of not so good stuff from them. I would put this about in the middle. No?
Anita,
Go Anita.
I hope you're more positive about this.
Yeah, I've been ranting for like 30 minutes now.
Well, I guess I found that I liked a lot of some aspects of the performance. So for me, I thought the styling, the concept was really interesting. It was classy, nothing like revolutionary, but I thought the edgy kind of classy look was really nice. Also, there's a bit of a heist type storyline, which I think gets a little confusing towards the end.
Because they start fighting each other a little
exactly,
bit. At one point. Yeah. I know.
And I think it might have not helped that there was a lot of like camera shots that switch back and forth. So like I kind of knew what they were doing and where they were going, but like things were going a little fast visually. What I thought was the kind of drawback where I was like, oh, I didn't expect it to go here. I don't know if I like it. It was the beginning of the chorus. I think they do like a bit of a drop. I don't know if it's considered a drop. I don't know. It's like the beat like gets really loud, and then I don't know how to describe it, but there's not like a really strong melody. It's just like a more empty beat, and I thought it kind of felt like it slowed down, but not really. Like it didn't really pick up or anything, so it felt very, very static when it came to the chorus. And I thought, oh, I kind of wish we would have done something else, because it felt like it could have led up to something very interesting, but it didn't quite get there. So for me, it was when I heard the beginning of the chorus where I was like, oh, the choreo looks cool. It's very smooth, very nice. A lot of the shots in the music video are of the choreo, and I thought it was a good decision. But I just feel like, oh, the song, where it goes, it doesn't help it. And I agree with Warren in that.
The thing with the production, if you look at the chorus, is like there's plenty of things going on actually. Like it's very busy, but at the same time, everything that's busy is placed in the background. And like none of it's in the foreground.
Yeah.
And you end up with a situation where the listener there's nothing really much to focus on. Which, you know, I understand what they were going after, right? Because we're going after this. I'm not a tryhard, you know, I'm laid back, sexy, you know, chilled back kind of deal. Which I'm sure they can pull that off. At the same time, I don't think the production was there to like fully back that up. So
I do think this is better than Love Killa. I'm gonna be honest here. The last song. Although these are in the like, they've been going this direction as of late. I remember Follow had more like, it had like some Middle Eastern vibes, if I remember.
Some FIFA.
I remember Fantasia was more like a high energy song as well, if I remember.
FIFA again, yes.
And then these two songs have gone more dark and darker route.
Right.
I don't know. Like Monsta X is always a conundrum in my head, because like you remember how lit Shootout was, right?
Oh yeah.
And everyone like we mention this every time Monsta X comes out, right? And everyone's like, you remember how good Shootout was, and how they were up for like Song of the Year with that song, right? Like that year, and like that was like one of the most hype releases of, I think it was 2018 or 19, one of those years.
Yeah.
18.
And like every time they come back, we always compare them to Shootout. Like everyone does. And I don't know, they just haven't hit it for me. I feel bad though, because I like a lot of the members in this group, you know. I like my boy Juhani. I like my boy Shonyu. I like some other members.
Great.
Can't really do promotions though, right? Because of his eye injury.
Yeah, he's the guy who has the eye problems right now.
Right.
No. He had like a detached retina last time, I believe. Something like that.
God.
That being said, it's like,
It's painful.
I think Monsta X is very good at what they do, and I think they do very well with what they're given. It's just I feel like what they're given is not that good.
I mean,
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like,
but the thing is, I think the shift makes sense given they've been around for almost 7 years now.
Yeah.
They are easily in what I would call late stages. But I think there's better ways to achieve that.
can we get something happy for them? Like, nothing's been happy in the last like 4 years. I know that's not the Monsta X vibe, right?
Yeah.
But
They're
at
monsters.
the same time, like, can we let them go outside and do something else a little? Like, for my morbid curiosity, I just want them to completely do something like strange, right?
Okay.
And I just want to see what happens. I don't know. It's high.
Like bathe in milk.
What?
I wasn't going there. I was like something upbeat, but maybe
I was trying to pivot into Mamamoo, and where are we now? Where Hwasa takes a bath in milk.
Fair. Okay, so Mamamoo, where are we now? RBW, debut 2014. Last 3 songs, Dinga, Wanna Be Myself, Hip, 42 music show wins as a group. That's a good amount.
See, I was so confused because like if you see Hwasa in the tub, it's white. Is that like bath water? Why is it white?
Well,
I don't know, fam. I ain't. Are you trying to buy her bathwater? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
No, okay, no. First of all, she's not.
Is this
Belle
OnlyFans?
Delphine.
Are you buying bathwater, Warren?
Bro.
You trying to tell us something?
What?
How are you gonna transition out of that, buddy? Huh?
Doug has called Hwasa Belle Delphine.
No.
If you are
I
a
haven't.
Mamamoo fan, like you should be angry at Doug, not me.
I did not bring up the bathwater, sir.
You brought up the bathwater. I just mentioned how it was all milky, and that's
What?
kind of
how are you placing the bringing up bathwater on me, dude?
It was a salt bath.
Oh.
There you go, Warren.
Okay.
Let's
All right. I'm
let's keep
sorry.
going.
I haven't bathed in years. I shower. That's the thing. Too.
My God, dude. All right, how do you feel about this goddamn song? God damn it, dude.
Do I go first again?
Sure.
I go first every time. Okay, look, I think the song's good. I have nothing against the song. I think the members are doing a great job of singing. On a personal preference level, I have always felt like they come off as a little too much. In terms of like the way like they inflect their vocals and voices and whatnot. In Korean we call that kuse. You know, like the accents you have when you turn up your pitch and whatnot. Not super big into how they're a little over dramatic in terms of that, but at the same time, there's a whole group of people who really enjoy that. So I'm not gonna harp against that. So not a super big fan of the performance from singers like Hwasa, for example. On the other hand, stuff that Moonbyul was doing, I thought was really, really nice.
the beat.
Very clean. Same with Hween. So much emotion in her vocals. That being said, I do feel like there is a lot of emotion, but it's not doing that much for me. I do feel like this. I would kind of group this into like a modern take on a conventional ballad, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. At the same time, it's not something that I find very interesting at the end of the day.
I see this song more as like a big pivot for them. Like we are like veterans in the game, because you got to think this comes off of the news that at least 3 out of the 4 members have renewed contracts. We don't really know about Weeins, but everyone else renewed, right? This is the first song after renewal. You're in like part 2 of the career essentially, right? After the first 7 years. I think this is more just marking like how like marking their veteran status essentially is what I got from this. And I think the emotions were tied into all of that, it's kind of retrospective, all that kind of stuff. I personally like the way they sing, like Warren. I think Solar doing her power vocal thing. I do agree sometimes Hwasa's intonation is a little bit too much. I will give you that. I'll give you that one. Because I think someone with the vocal range of Solar, I think it's inevitable that she does things like that, to be honest, with the way she sings. So I think that's more palatable. Moonbyul, like she's like one of my favorite people in K-pop.
Yeah, I know you like Moonbyul.
I don't think I've ever said anything negative about her.
No,
I don't think
you
I
like
ever.
their solo track too.
Yeah, I like their solo track, even though no one else did. I was down for that. That being said, I think the strength of this song is how much drama it built. Like I felt that this could have been an OST song, that type of deal. I just felt like it was a very dramatic song, right? And I'm okay with that, considering the fact that I have not been a fan of some of like their more recent stuff, like Hip and Dinga. Like that style wasn't hitting with me. I feel like this one hit home for me. What about you, Anita?
I feel like I'm also in the camp that I kind of really appreciated the vocals coming in strong here, and I feel like it wasn't like super necessary. Like I understand that, but I thought that it was a flex. Like we can still do it. This is what we've always been able to do, and like here it is. And for me, I thought that that's the way they start the chorus, right? So I think it's Solar and Hwasa who started. They like belt it out and then they come down. So I feel like that's pretty powerful to say like, oh yeah, we can start the chorus going high. Like we can start it belting. I thought that was pretty nice. I also thought that the drama, I felt it a little bit more in the direction of the music video, because like it's very mellow and like the color scheme is very muted, but visually, it feels like they're telling the story of like, oh, it's like we're on our own, like we're individuals, right? And then they come together at the end with the white dresses, which I thought was
the white dress with the
very
spotlight thing
dramatic.
and the
Yes,
drone
yes.
shot was a cool shot.
That was the drama right there.
Yeah.
So I feel like, if it's fitting for the time in their careers. I thought that I almost felt like a little too sad, and I think some people were also confused. Like they're not disbanding, right? Like
It kind of felt like a goodbye song a little.
But it wasn't.
I looked up whether he signed or not after this.
Yeah, it was a little
I did
confusing.
too.
But I guess it's interesting that they're able to do like, oh, we're kind of reflecting on our career, and it's a kind of somber. It's not like super celebratory, but it's like serious. I don't know.
It felt
It's
like
interesting.
more of a song for them than a song for us.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the type of vibes I was getting for this.
Okay.
Like, I feel like we're looking into some of the, like, I feel like they lifted the curtain a little bit with this song. You know what I'm saying? Respect for doing that. Now, I get like a lot of people want some like Mamamoo banger or something, but I think it was refreshing that we doubled down on the vocals. Another Mamamoo thing, if you ever watch, everyone needs to watch if you haven't, because there's like there's millions of views on this. The Mamamoo killing voice thing that they did, it's 15 minutes long. They do it completely without AR. You should watch that if you've never watched that. It's ridiculous. That's just something I want to point out, because like I think people forget sometimes how talented this group is at singing. I know that they're like considered good vocalists, but like sometimes it's ridiculous how good they are as a group.
They are very good.
I wonder what's gonna happen next with them, right? Because they have been heavily focused on some of the solo stuff as of late and not as much on the group stuff. I wonder what the implications of that will be going forward.
You know what I just noticed? Looking at Moonbill's shoes from when she's on top of the what are these called? Camping cars?
Trailer.
RVs?
Yeah, RVs. She is wearing Jordan 1 retros, the high obsidian UNCs. Nice shoes.
Right.
Light blue on the back, dark blue on the front, lots of beige overtones. Resales at about somewhere between 400 and 800.
Dang.
Man, that's
Those are nice shoes.
those are nice shoes, Jordan 1s. That being said, I do not recommend you spend $400 on shoes. They're not worth 400.
All right, thanks Warren for a PSA. Yes.
No problem.
Let's
Yeah.
don't fight the feeling though. Let's get to this last song. So EXO's Don't Fight the Feeling. They are from SM, debut 2012. Last three songs were Obsession, Love Shot, and Tempo. 106
Tempo
music
and
show
Shot.
wins. This, I don't know if it was an album, mini album, whatever it was. EXO's Don't Fight the Feeling mini album surpassed 1.2 million album pre-order copy sales as of June 6th. That's a lot of sales.
Whoever's saying EXO not relevant anymore.
I know,
is,
it's ridiculous, right?
It's a lot.
Big dum dum.
Clearly relevant. A lot of interesting things going on in this song. For some reason, I found this song to be so refreshing relative to a lot of other boy group
Yes.
stuff we've had lately.
I agree.
I feel like they kind of reverted back to like more of a classic SM boy group style with this song. I don't know, something about this felt like a bit of a callback. I think the highlight of this is just the straight energy of this song, right? Something they look like they're having a good time. They look like they're showing off how good they are. We had a lot of surprises in the song, like because they haven't come back in a long time. Dio's back, right?
Dio, yeah.
Lay was in this. Like, what is that, right? Like,
Green end though.
I know he's still physically missing, but like he was in it. Like,
Yeah.
Chanyeol too. I thought he went to the military too.
yeah, I think he came back too.
Yeah.
So like it was like the lineup switch between Obsession and this one is pretty drastic, right? Like, that being said, my favorite song of the week by far, I think.
Ooh, by far.
Oh.
Now I wasn't a fan of Kai's orange hair.
Really?
Just saying,
It reminded me of Kid Millie.
I felt like he looked really young with that haircut. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
all
it
look
was,
very young. Can I say that? Because when I was watching the music video, I was like, dang, it doesn't seem like they have changed a lot.
yeah.
Like we're going on almost like a decade in their career next year. So I don't know. It's very refreshing to see
This
them.
felt like a year 4 song. You know what I mean? Not like a year like 9 song, right? Like, that being said, I thought they did really well. My boy Baekhyun adds spice to everything that he's in. Just like his voice is so perfect for K-pop. I don't know what it is about it. Just the way he sings and he's there. He's doing his Baekhyun thing. It just always works for some reason. Anita, did you like "Don't Fight the Feeling"?
I did, but I have to give a little bit of a backstory because when I saw some of the teasers, and they did like the audio teaser, and I read some comments. People were saying the song was gonna sound like Power. And I'm sorry, but I was not a fan of Power. And I was very happily surprised that it's in the same type of sound, kind of like it's more upbeat, kind of happy, more easygoing, the music video as well is very more fun, not like a whole lot of storyline. So I thought I liked that, but it was not, thankfully, that similar to Power.
What do you got against Power?
No, I don't like Power either.
You too?
Like Power. Yeah.
I think for me, in the music video, I thought it was going a little bit a little too comedic, in the storyline in the music video. And
you didn't like how they combined each other and became this Power Ranger type deal?
I just didn't. Maybe I just don't understand it. I don't know where the lore is going.
No, I feel like Power doesn't have enough dynamics going on relative to this.
True.
There's more going on in this song, in my opinion.
Yes,
I
agreed.
frankly don't remember enough about Power to argue for or against
Power. Okay, Warren, how'd you feel about "Don't Fight the Feeling"?
Generally agree with you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, real quick, we got a house track, progressive house.
Yes.
Electro house, whatever you want to call it. And we don't, for first time in a long time, we don't have the bass thing. So
there you go.
Thank you so much for not doing it. We have something similar in the beginning, but it's a different type of bass and it's used very differently. So you know what? I'm willing to let it pass. For those of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, there's this whole thing where after the first chorus, it goes into or in the beginning of the chorus, they take out all the instruments, do just the bass riff and just kick, which every house track has been doing. And I thought this was gonna do it too, and it didn't. And I was so happy. So side rant there, I guess. Besides that, though, I will say it feels a little generic, but at the same time, I don't think that's bad at all.
People were saying that the rap, the placement of the rap section, the typical after the first chorus thing, broke up the flow of this song. I read that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't disagree with that, but at the same time, it's not like I'm expecting a lot from the rap of EXO. So, from that.
You know what the thing is, kind of agree with that too.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue EXO is a great group that has a great rap line.
No. Don't. Just say the first thing you said was, I would argue that they're not a great group. We don't know. No, they are a great group.
Oh, is that what? No, they're EXO, a great group.
No. I'm just covering for you, fam.
Thank you. That's not what I meant. Yeah. Please do not TikTok that.
No, I knew what you meant. That's why I needed to cover for you there.
In terms of rapping capabilities, they have not been the most hard hitting so far. That being said, I think the vocal line came through. And the rap, I don't think it was particularly annoying or anything, so I think that was fine. Production was very solid. It was very crisp. Mixes just really, really well there. Very bouncy, especially with the sidechain bass. So that's the bass is what. That's really working really well. So everything about it came together really, really nicely. Sure, it's not a game changer, but at the same time, you don't need a game changer every time. This is great. This is fine. I like it. It's very fun.
It felt SM, upbeat SM. You know. Something about this, even though it's not retro, felt like a callback to older SM stuff to me.
Okay,
interesting.
And I was really down for this. I honestly, in the ocean of heavy bass rock songs and really emotional stuff, this was so refreshing. You know, it's when you're eating something really heavy and you get something that's not heavy and maybe a little bit citrusy, you're or you drink some Sprite, you know, you're oh,
Sprite.
This is great,
yes.
You know?
Yes.
So the pickled radish when you eat Korean fried chicken.
No, literally, that's what this song is. That's what this is.
The pan-fried kimchi when you're eating Korean barbecue. No?
I agree. Well, maybe, but
Pickles in your sandwich.
the pickles in the Popeyes chicken sandwich. That's what this is.
All right.
That being said, it's like everyone's doing rock-based songs. A lot of people are, right? Everyone's doing rock elements in their songs, but this song felt very K-pop, you know? And sometimes I feel like that's what we need once in a while. We don't need to be incorporating all these rock elements, especially in the season, because we're in the summer now, right? Let's do some upbeat, happy stuff, and I think that's what this is providing.
Doug does not like rock music. Doug apparently
I like rock music, but I feel like everyone's doing it. That's the problem.
Doug does not like guitars. Guitars is not.
No,
his
I'm
thing.
sick of them. I'm sick of them. Get rid of them.
Get rid of all the guitars.
Get out of
break
here.
all of them. We're gonna eradicate them like it's other big releases this week.
Yeah, Warren's like really weird with these transitions this week. So
I don't know. I don't know how to wrap these up, dude.
We got Ghost 9. Up All Night. We have Ravi's Cardigan. There's like a little bit of a controversy with Ravi. We're not gonna go into it, but he has a song called Red Velvet, right? On one of his B-sides, and there are so many direct references to Red Velvet, like the K-pop girl group. And when asked about it, he's like, I don't know them. But like, bro, you literally included Joy's name and Yeti's name in the song, dude. And you mentioned like 4 of their songs. Like, it's a really weird situation. You should read up on it. It's really strange.
He's apologized for it. Let's move on to the next one.
Next one, we have BTS Butter. There's now a Cooler remix. So now there's 2 remixes of this one. The next song is a song I'm surprised we didn't cover, and I'm surprised people didn't vote for. It was NCT 127 and Amoeba Culture. They had a collaboration song called Save. We also had a song from Haseongu called Sneakers. And you know, I don't like the rock songs, but this group gets a free pass, N.Flying's Moonshot, because they are a rock band at the end of the day. All right. Spice King. It's going to be spicy this week, right?
It's going to be spicy this week.
Spice King, basically, we have the Soju chart. We're going to evaluate it this week in terms of song, quality, spice, and listener fatigue. Songs that place number 1 are Spice King. If you win Spice King 3 times, you get entry to the Hall of Spice and get removed from the chart. There are implications this week because last week, BTS's Butter picked up its second crown. In second place, we had From Miss Nine's We Go. And in third place, we had TXT with 01 Love Song. You know, BTS is now eligible for Hall of Spice. They would be joining tracks including their own song Dynamite, Twice's I Can't Stop Me, Dreamcatcher's Odd Eye, IU's Lilac, and Stacy's ASAP. Stacy, shout out to Stacy for being in that list.
Stacy girls.
All right.
Who wants to go first? Doug, go first.
I got a chart.
Doug got a chart. Yeah. Doug, go.
I have one surprise in my chart. First place, though, I will retain Butter in first. They've been playing it a lot on my local radio station. Shout out to Z100, New York's #1 hit music station. Okay. This is not an ad for them.
We are sponsored by these people now, apparently.
Yeah. So it's on like every single time I'm commuting to work. So
okay.
I really like the song. I think it's great. You know, I still have not had the BTS meal. Maybe I should go do that. Right. Yeah. Second place. I have EXO's Don't Fight the Feeling.
Nice.
I really like the song. I think it's seasonal. You know, I said in my comments before. Third place is the surprise. Everglow's first is in third place for me.
There you go, Doug.
You know, as much as I dumpstered this song a little last week, I did say I found this song to be extremely catchy. I think I listened to it another 30 times this week.
Oh, man. I didn't even know it was eligible again. Okay, well...
So, yeah, Everglow's first. I put in third place. Boom. Anita, it is your time.
Oh, no. So my third place is EXO's Don't Fight the Feeling. And I realize now that I feel like I will grow to like the song a little bit more once the stage performances start to come out. Also, I don't know. I'm a little confused because I know some of the members that recorded the music video are not going to be performing it. So I don't even know how it's going to be redistributed in live performances. So that will be interesting. But the dance looked really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. The 1 and 2, the top 2, I'm a little conflicted because...
Anita, you got to make up your mind before you record.
I need to make it spicy.
Oh, see, I'm trying to predict.
No. Anita,
this is predict.
This should be independent of what Warren and I are going to do.
Excuse me, we are in a democracy. You cannot do that.
Okay. Well, in second place, I'm gonna keep From This 9. We go.
Yeah, this is like week 4 or 5 of this song.
It's a
Goddamn.
really
It's a good
great
song.
song. I'm sorry, it's
Okay.
holding on. Like I've been debating putting it on first, but I gotta keep BTS on first with Butter. It's really
Yep.
catchy. I've also been hearing it a lot on like advertisements here and there. So yes, that is it for me.
Well, it is me. It is Warren, keeper of democracy. I don't know what Anita was trying to predict. We Go by From This 9. I honestly think it's one of the better songs of this year. I can't believe I'm still saying this. It has a lot
true.
of holding power. I'm still listening to it and still having a good time. But I have to admit, I'm not listening to it as much as I was about a couple weeks ago. It's on my playlist. I have like I built like a summer playlist. It's there. So I'm putting it on third.
Okay.
Okay.
This is the first time in a couple of weeks it's not on first.
Right.
I also think this is one of the longest times a song has been on a chart.
It might be.
Has
Yeah.
it?
It's been here a while.
Yeah, it's been here a while. I think it's been here like 3 or 4 weeks. It's been here a while. I'm surprised.
Well,
it lasted
if you
this long.
remember, Adai got Hall of Spice in week 4 because it didn't
it?
get it this first week.
Okay.
Oh yeah, From Us 9 was episode 139.
Okay, never mind. I
Cool.
guess it's not been that long.
So this is its 4th week. Yeah.
I think "Don't Fight the Feeling" by EXO. I think it was surprisingly really nice. It flows really well, has good pacing. Mix is crisp, production's really good, and everyone shines. I think it's really good. Putting it on second. First. You're gonna hate me for doing this. I'm putting "Tomorrow" by Together's "One Time Zero" on first.
Ooh.
You know what? I think it took a while for me to completely bite myself into this track, bite my mouth into this track. But now that I'm into it, I think I'm really having a good time with this track. I haven't fully dived into their full-length album yet, but I'm going to do that soon. And I think it's just really well written. And there's a lot here that is very interesting. And I'm having a good time. I'm having a really wonderful time. Now regarding BTS's Butter, the elephant in the room here. I think it's a good song. I don't think it's a bad song at all. I do think it's been on the chart a little longer than I expected, to be frank. At this point where Butter has been out for 3 weeks, I think I like Dynamite over Butter. I know I'm in the minority with that. I know I am. But at the same time, I think there's a couple things about Butter where I was like, okay, I had a good run. I haven't listened to it in the past week or so.
So it just doesn't have the sticking power that Dynamite did
Fair.
for you.
That's fair.
it doesn't have the sticking power. I still think there are a couple flaws with this track itself where I'm like not very impressed over.
All right,
Dynamite, so.
this was down to the wire. Like, so the first thing, BTS's Butter will win its 3rd crown and enter the Hall of Spice.
Congratulations.
Just
Congratulations.
barely though. It got
Wow.
6
I
points.
got hair.
Second place was EXO's "Don't Stop the Feeling" with 5 points.
Wow.
Let's go.
And in
That's
third
true.
place, we had a tie in terms of points, but not in terms of first place votes. So
Okay.
there was TXT's 01 Love Song and From Miss Nine's We Go both had 3 points, but due to Warren putting it in first place, third place will go to TXT. So the official Soju chart for episode 142 is BTS's Butter, first place, picking up its 3rd crown, entering the Hall of Spice. Second place, EXO's Don't Fight the Feeling, second place with 5 points, and in third place, TXT's 01 Love Song with 3 points. Shall it be written? Shall it be done? You know,
Wow.
I kind of regret not giving TXT third place now.
Yeah, none of you guys gave it anything. I was like, really?
You know what? No. I'm gonna stick with my girls Everglow here. Let's go Everglow. All right.
You didn't give anything to From Us 9, so I don't know what to tell you.
Hey man,
buddy.
it's week 4. I have the attention span of a slug, but we're now as show winners. Anita, hit us with them.
Yes, BTS keep winning though because Butter picked up some wins on Show Champion, Music
man.
Bank, Show Music Core, and Inkigayo. So they're up to 6 total wins with this comeback. So congrats to them. And then we had NCT Dream's Hot Sauce also pick up a win on M Countdown.
Wow.
So a total of 8 wins for that comeback as well. And finally, Everglow had their first win for first on the show. So congrats to them.
for first.
That is their second win of their career. I looked it up because I wasn't sure if it was their first one. Second one for their
Nice.
career. NCT Dream Hot Sauce with 8 wins is, I wouldn't say it's surprising, but at the same time, the three of us were not the biggest fans of that song. So it's doing well though. So as always, what we say does not reflect what everyone's thinking.
Of course, yeah.
And then BTS's Butter, 4 more wins to 6. I'm expecting that number to keep rising over the next couple weeks.
Let's go. Let's hit 30.
Oh yeah, did it? That one, I think Dynamite hit like 32 or something.
Yeah,
right?
32.
Yeah, it's like number 1 song with the most awards, I think.
But we're now at the end of part 1. SojuTalk 142. We'll be back after a short break. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, SojuTalk Nation. This is Anita here with a quick PSA. If you would like to support SojuTalk Kpop Podcast, please like, subscribe, or follow us on whatever platform you're using. And consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/SojuTalk or donating to us at paypal.me/SojuTalk. On behalf of the crew and myself, thank you. Now back to our regularly scheduled episode.
We are back at it with part 2 of SojuTalk episode 142, where we discuss recent K-pop news and events and give you the state of the nation. All right.
Boom!
News and events from last week. We're going to go through some Butter accolades because it picked up a ton of them.
Big boy awards.
On June 1st, earlier, probably like a week ago, BTS's Butter officially debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. It is the group's 4th number 1 song after Dynamite, Savage Love, and Life Goes On.
Wow.
Today, on June 7th, Butter also retained its first place spot in the upcoming week's Billboard Hot 100 as well. And it brought in over 32.2 million US streams, sold 242,000 downloads in the... and no one's buying downloads right now, right? In in the week ending in May 27th. And also attracted 18.1 million radio airplay audience impressions in the week ending in May 30th. So that's like a week ago, that number. So it's probably quadrupled by now. BTS is the first band to have 3 number 1 debuts on the Billboard Hot 100, and they are now tied with Ariana Grande as the act with the most number 1s on the Billboard Hot 100 in the 2020s.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So lastly, Butter has now reached over 250 consecutive perfect all kills. Basically, each perfect all kill is an hour, right? So it's been at number 1 for essentially 10 days plus now, right?
Wow.
On all the charts, and is the 6th song to pass the 250-hour mark.
That is wild. Man.
So on paper, in terms of commercial success in Korea, this is a top 6 song, right?
Oh, yeah. In terms of commercial success, it's wild.
Yeah, it's like we're at the point now.
Look at me like that.
I don't know. I
know it wasn't sarcasm. I just want to be very clear.
No, we're just at the point now where like I read these like articles and these accolades on Twitter and whatever, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, every single time, right?
Yeah, I mean, like you look at these numbers and like they feel it just doesn't feel realistic anymore. Like. Because here we are looking at some of these groups who are selling like 1,000 albums and 10,000 albums, and these guys, we're talking millions.
Yeah.
Streams, sure, but like still it's just it's difficult to say they are within the playing field of K-pop nowadays, right? Like, this is clearly proof.
They're at another level. Yuck,
right?
yuck.
Right. We're talking about like at this point, we're honestly talking about pop artists who have roots in terms of K-pop. And I mean, I'm not against that. It's really fun,
I think
where they go.
I think that is a very fair way to describe them. Pop artists with a base in K-pop. I mean,
yeah, we're comparing them with Ariana Grande now. I mean, I don't know. Ariana Grande is not J-pop or K-pop or C-pop for all I know. So Ariana Grande.
I think we're now. I think the thing that's going to be interesting is we're now at the point where it's undeniable for like the US record labels to ignore, right? We're clearly past that point, but we're at the point now where they're in their backroom discussion saying like, how can we replicate this, right? So in the next couple of years, we're going to see like American clones, I believe. I would not be surprised if that's it. Like we're starting to see the roots of that, right?
Right.
Some of the people are being smart and actually teaming up with Big Hit to do it, right? Or Hybe Now is what we call them. But other people are gonna try to swing and do it on their own. I'm really interested to see all the dumpster fires that come out.
And it's gonna be really interesting. And like here's the thing, like even though I'm not an ARMY or a big BTS fan, I'm super excited to see where this goes, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
like I don't want to directly compare BTS with another group, but like if I was listening to older Big Bang stuff this week too. I don't know why. I was listening to music from the early like 2000s. And I was listening to Big Bang, and then how that has influenced a lot of the music that's coming out today. Like a lot of the rappers, like straight up hip hop musicians in Korea, I'm hearing a lot of G-Dragon in the way they rap or like sing and whatnot. And like that legacy is there. And like 10 years after the prime of Big Bang, we're still getting legacy and like impacts and like all of this. BTS is like I don't, like seeing that unfold the next 5, 10, 15 years is gonna be like something I look forward to.
I think the easiest marker will be how many groups with all males are going to try to sprout up in the next 5 years. That's going to be because we were 100% in the era of you have to be a solo artist, period, right? Like other than some notable in America, in the Western game, other than notable exceptions, right? Yep. Like it was pretty much like you need to be a solo artist, period.
Unless bet you Brockhampton.
I bet you next 5 years there's going to be so many like these groups coming out of these big record labels that are going to try to do it, and we'll see what happens, right? For sure.
Interesting.
Next, we talked about this SM Dear You subsidiary thing last week, right?
We did.
And today we're going to sell some stocks or whatever, but JYP Entertainment has officially acquired a 23.3 stake in SM's Dear You, which is known for their quote-unquote successful platform bubble. JYP Entertainment plans to invest more in IT platforms for its future business development. What this is signaling to me, right? It's Weverse, it's Universe, and it's now this SMJYP thing, right?
The bubble.
The bubble. Those are the three major platforms, in my opinion, right? Kind of interesting, because I feel like we talk about Universe and we talk about Weverse a decent amount, but because JYP's doing it in-house, essentially, with SM, and they're doing it in-house, and there's no outside collaboration, nothing that happens really gets put in the news because it's not anything too crazy, right? There is sort of an aspect of it now that when we hear about Weverse and we hear about Universe and it comes up in the news, it's because these like intercompany collaborations and things like that, artists going one place to the other. But when you keep it all in-house, nothing too noteworthy ever happens, That's the one aspect that I've been thinking about lately.
I mean, the hope there is that the noteworthy aspect of it is that the app is good and it's a good service and it's appealing to the users. I've never used Bubble, so I don't know if it's good or bad.
Exactly.
Have you guys tried it before?
No.
No.
Like, I've done a little bit of Weverse. Tried the dumpster fire that was Universe on launch. I'm still like I'm back. It's like back in my day we just used the V Live and we used the regular fan cafes. Back in the day. Like
I follow Rocket Punch on Twitter.
Yeah, what was the platform where the fan cafes were on? I forgot what it was.
Dom cafes.
Yeah, Dom Cafe. I remember joining the Eyes One Dom Cafe and asking Warren how I should answer the question so I can post. Like I remember that was a thing, but now
you had to make sure you know the birthdays and like it was in Korean.
It was list the members in birth order, and the slogan of the group was the questions. If I remember.
Wow.
하나가 되는 순간 모두가 기억해.
So you had to post those on this thread, and then eventually they got to you and gave you full access to the fan cafe. Wow. That was how it worked.
Now look at us. We have full-on social media platforms. Not one, not two, but apparently 3 now. Yeah. Let us know if you guys have tried Bubble. Let me know how that is. As someone who likes mobile platforms, this is kind of interesting. Was not aware Bubble was a thing. I know LYS and Listen or License, whatever. I know that's a thing too. We haven't really talked about them in a while.
That's also sort of grouped into the SM stuff as
right?
well.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is interesting. But they don't have a great rating on Google or iTunes, like right above 4.
The thing for me
that's not bad, but
is we're in the era of like, let's try to give people more access to the idols. Where on a personal level, I'm like, let me back off a little. Like I've gotten more casual with my K-pop listening as of late and my content consumption. I think it's really in stark contrast to what's happening in the game, though, right? Where people are joining all these apps and things like that. So I don't know. I feel like sometimes it's too invasive.
I mean, frankly, I don't think you and I are of the target demographic.
100%. 100% we're not.
I don't fully, I think if I was about 16, I would have had a field day with these apps, boy.
Bro,
really?
You remember we were pressing the heart button during V Lives? That's my level of engagement back in the day. Spamming the heart button.
I signed up for AKB48 private mail with Jury. You remember that?
I remember you did. Yep.
Yeah. I didn't even know how to read the thing properly, and I still signed up.
I played that Icewood music game, and I spent $50 on it. On the gacha system, dude. Oh my god.
Dang.
I guess if you're the type of person who wants to really engage in the K-pop content, I'm sure this is all great news for you, because the arms race is just going to mean that these platforms are going to have to get better over time.
Let's go. More competition, better apps. Super excited.
Let's move to the next one. One that everyone's universally happy about. Luna confirms the return of Hustle indirectly for their 4th mini album and through new teaser photos. The teaser photo had 12 eyes, and there's 12. That means Hustle's back, is essentially what it means.
Nice.
Hustle has been on hiatus due to mental health since January of 2020, over almost a year and a half. It is a year and a half. Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's great. I'm happy that BlackBerry Creative did not force her to come back earlier than she needed to. At the same time, 18 months is a long time to sit on the shelf. Very excited. I hope that she plays a prominent part in the next music video. I'd be kind of hyped for that.
I hope she feels better now and she's not rushing this. Here's the thing, right? Like a couple weeks ago, I think Doug, you and Nuna on the Discord tagged me on the server, but I didn't see until I finished the episode, and I was looking at the news while I was waiting for the videos to export, and then I found out Jury was sick and she's gonna be on hiatus for like a couple weeks. Why wasn't that a major thing on the news that episode, Doug? Why? I don't understand.
Have you looked at the relevancy of her group, sir?
All right, look, they're relevant to me. That's all that matters. I am a narcissistic person.
I'm salty.
Look. What I was getting at is, a couple weeks ago I was very sad. Now I'm more like, I'm glad she has the ability to rest, to take her time off. And same with her. Like now I'm worried that maybe she's like rushing into things a little bit. Cause here's the thing, right? Like when I was going through a lot of trouble in my life, I'm sure Hustle's going through a completely different thing. But when I was going through trouble in my life, I was like, yo, I'm just ready to move on to the next thing. Let me go. But like deep down, I knew I wasn't, I needed more time to get ready for the next step. And I think the fact that I didn't rush into things was like very,
helpful.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, very, very helpful. So you know what? Hustle is like my age. I'm sure she has everything figured out. I'm sure she has a lot of supportive people in her network.
I'm mad hype for Luna again.
I know, same. Doug, is she still your favorite member of Luna? You know what? She wasn't for a while. You traitor.
What?
You traitor.
She not. My favorite member is Eve.
Time. Yeah,
Hustle was my favorite for a while, and then it was Kinlip for a while, and now it's Eve. Eve has been my favorite for the last year.
I think I've been watching the web variety with Shu in it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's so like adorable,
She's like one of the most naturally adorable people ever. Some next news. This is kind of interesting. Yehua Entertainment confirmed that Island participant Hanbin has recently signed an exclusive contract after leaving B-Lift Lab.
Oh wow!
That's a high-level transfer.
Yeah.
So I know Hanbin didn't make the group, didn't make the Enhypen team. But as the Vietnamese member, he was like one of the more notable people on that show, right?
He's quite popular, yeah.
He was quite popular too. And Yehua, that's a top, I wouldn't call it a top tier company, but that is a notable company, top 10, maybe 15 notable company in K-pop. To move that quickly right away says a lot, I think. Because I think Yehua's looking at this like, we got this kid Hanbin. We could do some K-pop stuff. Maybe we hit that Vietnamese market real hard too, Yehua's probably thinking out of the box because, Yehua's based in China. We all about that money here, right? Let's go get that.
Right.
So I think it's a very interesting move that he's signing with Yehua specifically.
It's gonna be interesting.
Anita, what do you think?
I was actually thinking. I wonder if they're trying to do like a solo thing or a group thing. It'd be interesting.
At the end of the year thing for Big Hit at the time, he did a solo stage, I believe, right? So
Really? Wow.
I think he did something solo. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I wonder what's gonna happen with that.
I'm gonna guess Yuehua is like loaded with money, which I'm sure they are. But like now that I even more feel like they're like loaded with money, because I'm sure he was getting all the support he needed and Hype and you know, and then Yuehua must have been like, "Yo, look at all the money we can give you. You know, look at all the money you can make. Look at all the money that your family will make. You know."
Hey man, they're like, Hanbin, let's do Mandarin classes real quick, buddy. Like straight up, let's do it.
Good.
Lastly, more Girls Planet 999 news. This show is actually shaping up to be kind of hype. So, Spot TV News confirmed that CLC's Yujin will be participating in the upcoming girl group debut project Girls Planet 999 that will air in August. Mnet did not confirm the reports, but there was some confirmed news. Yeojin-gu will be the MC of the show.
Yeojin-gu? Wow.
Yeah, like they're doing it. You know, CLC was in that interesting position where like it was sort of leaked. It was never confirmed that they're not going to support CLC, right? You remember that happened?
Right. Yeah.
So it does make sense that she's in something. She is 24, which is, I'm looking at the age of the confirmed Chinese contestants. She's not the oldest. There's a 25-year-old here. There's a couple of them. So not unheard of.
I mean, if you guys remember Eunbi in Produced 48,
she was like 24,
about the same,
right?
That's about the same age, yeah.
I feel like she's in CLC, who's pretty notable, right?
Right.
She's gonna have such an inherent massive advantage, I think. And if they add, you know how we also heard that they might be adding the Cherry Bullet girls or some of them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are like notable. Those are like, normally on these reality shows, if there's people in groups, it's like struggle city groups, right? Like, I know CLC, it's a little bit of a struggle, but like they're quite notable. And there's a girl from Nizi Project. And then the Chinese side, there's so many girls from these notable competition shows. Like, the level of kid that they're bringing on is higher than the average show, it seems to me.
Goodness.
Doug, you excited for this?
Yeah. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, straight up, yeah.
Produce season 5. Here we go.
Mnet.
It's 12 episodes in total. It's gonna be in August. You know, the Chinese line, because I've watched some of these. I watched a bit of Chuang. I watched Youth with You. Like, I saw Produce 101 China back in the day. Like, I know a lot of these kids, right? Like, this is going to be really interesting, because what I always said was that the Youth with You season 2, the level of talent was higher than any of the female produced seasons. So we're gonna have to see what happens, because I think it's gonna be crazy town. Like, I think it's actually going to be nuts. And the thing that's still up in the air, though, is how is this language thing gonna happen?
Right. Yeah.
Communicate.
What's gonna happen?
I think somebody on the Discord posted the picture of like one of those like handheld like translation devices.
Yeah.
Do they work? Have you guys tried them?
I don't know. My feeling about those automatic translators is that if it was really good, wouldn't we all be using it already?
Right,
That's my logic. But who knows?
Well, time to learn Japanese and Chinese, my Korean folk, and the
So
other way
it's in
for the other people too.
August. I gotta wait like 2 months for the show. All right, I could hold out for that. Yeah.
Man. Doug, I know like the last couple of weeks, K-pop hasn't been that exciting for you.
This is gonna get me hype.
Is this okay?
It's Mnet. What if they add some IZ*ONE's kids? What if Jo Yuri's on the show?
Oh my god,
She's
no.
Mnet.
Okay, no. I don't. Okay,
It could happen. It could happen.
Here's what's gonna realistically happen. They're not gonna join as performers. They're gonna be the trainers or the mentors, or they're gonna be like, they're gonna be on for like 5 minutes.
Hey man,
it's gonna happen.
If we're basing it, because every single kid on this like contestants list that I see, all are like notable. There's no just like straight trainees, right? Like, no one's a trainee. Everyone's done something.
Really? Okay.
I wonder what that's gonna mean for the Korea side then. Like, who's gonna fill out the 33 side, the 33 from the Korean side, or whatever amount, right? That's what's most interesting to me. Like, what the rest of the Korean kids are gonna be.
What if they're all
like idols?
People?
What if they're all debut idols? Like,
they're all like, hi, we're Cherry Bullet. Like, hi, we're this group. Hi, we're Rocket Punch. Hi, we're this other group. Like, I'm this other solo person. Like, what
if that happens, it's gonna be ridiculous. It's gonna be like produce, but with kids you already know. Like, it's gonna be crazy. Why would you volunteer for that? Number one, right? But like, who knows?
I just want to see some like wild shit.
I want to see something ridiculous. I want someone
same.
so notable to come out that it's like crazy.
I still watch the performance video from Hellbaya, like Boombaya Group 2. And I still laugh. It's great. Every time I'm in a bad mood, I watch it. I'm in a good mood. Like,
in terms of Mnet reality shows, I know we sort of stopped watching the show, right? But I will announce the Kingdom results. Might be a bit of a spoiler. So if you don't want to know what happens and you're still watching, then don't listen to the next 30 seconds. But Kingdom, the group that won Kingdom was Stray Kids. Second place was The Boys. Third place was ATEEZ. Fourth place was B2B. Fifth place was iKON. Sixth place was SF9. Honestly, if you had asked me to guess where the groups would have ended up at the end of the show, pretty much this, right?
I'm a little surprised by B2B though, low key.
I think
You thought
B2B
they'd
was
be lower.
I think
bit
B2B was
higher.
like the Mr. Congeniality on the show. Got a lot of fans that way. But a lot of people in the comments I saw were like, well, we kind of knew Stray Kids were going to win this from the start, right? Yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It's not like you really had anything to really gain from this show anyway.
Well, they
Like,
get their own show, right? Like,
I think that's the big thing. But
Yeah.
like, I think in terms of just general K-pop popularity, it wasn't like anyone was going to have like the biggest change in their career ever from the show. I think so. But in terms of announced big comebacks, Cards BM, June 9th. It's gonna do it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Featuring Gray, June 11th.
great.
Brave Girls, June 17th. Mark that one on your calendar, everyone. 10 days from now. Pink Fantasy, June 21st. I still want the rabbit to take off the mask. Ace, June 23rd. Anita likes her some Ace, right?
Yes.
2 p.m., June 28th.
Oh,
Excited about that. Han Sung-woo, June 28th. But he's going to the military in July, so it's going to be like Taemin release the song and go to the military. We have 2 boy group debuts on June 30th, Omega X and Just B. Omega X is the group that's consisted of dudes from random Nugu groups.
Yeah.
Just B is the group we talked about last year, which has a couple island contestants in it.
Yes.
SF9 in July, Minji from 21 in July, and NCT Dream repackage Anita sometime in the future. It happened.
Oh.
They changed all their social medias again to the repackage, but I don't know specifically
Dang.
when.
what have you guys been doing this week?
We had a SojuTalk event this weekend.
It was very low key.
It was a low key event. So myself, I brought myself to New York City, where Warren's living right now.
Oh, hello, Manhattan.
We met up with some notable people from our Discord. Specifically, my boy Matt, aka Shinboy, who I've known since first grade, and one of our Discord mods, Nobody's Nuna.
Nice.
We met up. We did the all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue. I broke my diet for this,
I'm
y'all.
really jealous.
Bro,
Like, here's the thing. Like, I've done
so good.
I've done all you can eat barbecues at several different places. The catch with the all you can eat barbecues usually is that the meat isn't good.
The quality sucks, right? Yeah.
It like kind of smells a bit, it's not really juicy. It's kind of like grimy. This was good.
This
It
was
was
good.
Well worth the
Oh my
price.
goodness.
Oh,
I
man.
thought about it, like, between us, like, you know how you order servings, right?
Yeah.
Each time we ordered food, Warren got 4 servings. He got 2 of one meat, 2 of another, more or less, right?
Yeah.
We did that like 6 times. It was like 24, 25 servings of meat, I think, was eaten.
Oh man.
It was so good. Like,
Here's the-
okay, obviously, it was Manhattan, very expensive. Like, it wasn't ridiculously expensive. It's a nice expensive meal though. I highly suggest. I'll even say where we went. We went to a place called Let's Meat, but meat spelled as in MEAT,
Of course, yes.
and it's in Koreatown. We observed the social distancing. There were partitions, so we felt pretty safe. All of us were vaccinated. We were doing our part. This was honestly the first thing I did outside of seeing family members since the pandemic started was this.
Wow.
I felt like, I wouldn't say it was, I'm not saying the company was awkward, but going out in public for the first time in like 18 months or a year or whatever was very strange. Like, I was like, I had no clue the etiquette. I was asking Warren, what do I do here? Like, what's the situation? Like,
Right, because like stuff is very different now, right? Like you go to a restaurant, they check your temperature, you gotta write your contact information down.
You gotta QR code the menu. I didn't know we had to do that. Like things like that.
No paper menus anymore. It's just not a thing. But I mean, if you are fully vaccinated and like your city has good numbers, I highly suggest get some Korean barbecue.
I hadn't eaten Korean barbecue in like a year. It was so good, dude. We ate like good steak. We had chadeolbaegi, which is the brisket, which is like what you would think is like, it's sort of like cheesesteak meat. It cooks fast. That one was good. The samgyeopsal was good. Then we started eating some seasoned meats, Anita. Marinated meats.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Here's the thing.
Oh, so good.
The thing with Korean barbecue is like the meats are cut very differently from American meats. Like the briskets are very, very thin, and it's very oily, and it just so juicy in your mouth.
They give you the dipping sauces. You had the sesame oil, the salt, and the samjang, which is like the fermented bean paste. I know that doesn't sound appetizing. Trust me, it's the most delicious of the sauces. It's so good.
Now, the thing we had the most often was the flat iron steak, also known as the oyster blade. In Korean, that's putesar. Dude.
It was straight up steak. Like straight up, like if you think of like good steak, that's all it was.
No, Americans don't eat that. That's a strictly Asian thing. And it tastes so good. It's not even that oily either. If you look at the meat itself, it's very red. And yet it's so tender. It's so soft and it's so juicy. and trust me, compared to like other stuff like T-bones or like whatever, it's so cheap.
It was so also cheap. The first Korean barbecue place that I went to where instead of a grill, like a standard Korean barbecue grill, it was on like a mini cauldron top, Anita. They cooked it on that.
Oh.
Yeah. That was
like it's one of those things where like the traditional way to make rice is like you have this big cauldron with the top on top of it. They get those, heat it up, and use that to like grill the meat.
Interesting.
And
it was good.
It's good. You can taste the fire.
They gave us corn cheese, Anita.
Corn cheese.
So how do I describe this? All right, corn cheese is what's considered an anju in Korea, which is pretty much something you eat while drinking, right?
Drinking side
snack. It consists of corn and cheese
and a lot of butter.
And butter. So essentially, you put like corn, you put like Korean processed white cheese on it. And
no, you just put mozzarella cheese. That's it. Pizza cheese.
Well, I consider Korean cheese like fake cheese. But, in America, we put mozzarella cheese on it. You put corn, put butter, and then they just cook it until it all melts and you just eat it. It was actually really good. I hogged that, I believe.
Okay, yeah. To be frank, my opinion, it was all right. It was just normal corn cheese.
Hey, I was breaking my diet. I don't eat cheese on my diet. I was like, bro, there's cheese
going
here.
ham.
We're going ham. That's how I thought. The kimchi there was actually good too. It was surprisingly good. The kimchi was good. We finished it off with some naengmyeon, which is the cold buckwheat noodles. It was number one. It was the hottest day of the year so far. The weekend I went to visit Warren, it was like 90 degrees plus high humidity. It was like it was like a sauna, right? And then you eat the barbecue. It's hot in there because there's fire, cooking meat, steam, all that stuff. And then you get the naengmyeon, which is this buckwheat noodles in this cold broth, and there was ice in it, Anita.
I bet there was.
Oh my god,
the broth is still frozen. It's not water ice. It's frozen broth.
Oh my goodness.
The thing is like there's two ways to end Korean barbecue properly. There's two ways. You either do fried rice or you either do the naengmyeon. And trust me, the fried rice is like it's nice, it's fun.
It's more heaviness. More heaviness.
Right. You end up afterwards like you're like a full balloon ready to pop.
I feel like you want to die sometimes. Naengmyeon, so refreshing because it was hot out.
Here's the thing. They had one of those like Pyongyang style naengmyeons, which I know you guys don't know what that is. Let me explain. There are two ways to make naengmyeon. There's a South Korean style and there's a North Korean style. The North Korean style is like it feels very bland, but at the same time it's very deep because like the taste of the broth is what controls everything. It's very meaty, but there's no meat on top of it.
Umami.
And that's right. That's the word. So much umami. And bro, sure, the naengmyeon you get in, the juicy, citrusy kind of sour hamung naengmyeon, that's what it's called, South Korean naengmyeon. That's good too. But like Pyongyang naengmyeon, yo boy, that's where it's at. Like
so good. It was so good.
so great.
And then we drank while we were doing this. We got a lot of soju. I never had the grape flavor before, and it was
yeah?
like that flavor was so good.
It was good.
It was good. That being said, they charge you an arm and a leg for soju in New York City. Guess how much, Anita, was a bottle? Considering, just know everyone, if you go to Korea, you could probably buy an equivalent bottle of the soju for like $2 in Korea, right?
Okay, no. If you order at a restaurant, it's still like $6-7.
Not at a restaurant. I'm saying in the convenience store.
Okay, in the convenience store.
Anita, guess how much these bottles of soju were in New York City?
$7? $8?
18, Anita.
18?
$18.
What?
Okay. Look,
The regular size? The
Regular size.
What the heck?
look. Let me try to defend this a little bit. First of all, these are in the
can you?
middle. Let me listen to me, Anita. Okay, it's in the middle of Koreatown, which the rent is incredibly high, first of all. So you got to take that into consideration. Also, you can't compare convenience stores with restaurants. If you go to restaurants in Korea, the soju is going to be more than the convenience stores. I can't tell you how much, but they're more. Like if you go to like a liquor store, the sojus are like a lot cheaper too. Like they're like down to like $6-7 a bottle. Like, which I understand is not as cheap as $2, but at the same time, like you got to consider shipping, the tariffs, and all that. Like, so I mean, I am siding with capitalism here. I am siding with the big monies.
Hey, the vibes were good. $18. Hit us with 3 of them. Essentially, it was what I did.
It was a good time. I had fun.
Yeah.
Now I know what they look like in real life.
That's true.
Yeah.
I knew. Obviously, I knew what Matt looked like, right? So
But we
that
didn't know what Nuna looked like, because like we had several points of interactions with her, right? Like we talked on the Discord.
Yeah.
She was on the episode for on back in the day episode something a long time ago at this point.
You know, here's the thing. Like I feel like this kind of meetup was long overdue.
Yeah.
We were planning to have the first official SojuTalk meetup at KCON New York 2020 before pandemic happened. That was the day where we were like, all right, we got to meet people. People are gonna know what Anita looks like. That's the day, right?
Boy.
That's essentially
Need a
what
face reveal.
we had planned this like a year in advance too. We were talking about. We're like, Anita, you probably people are gonna know what you look like if you come to KCON in 2020. That was essentially what what we decided. But like, so it took a year. It took a year to meet the MBN in person. You know, that means it was a fun time. You know, it was incredible how busy everything was in Koreatown. It was everything was packed. You know, it was like summer was fully here.
Here's the thing: like I live in Manhattan. I don't live too far away from where all the action is. Frankly, there's still a lot of people wearing masks. There is also still a lot of people who don't wear masks. Hopefully they're all vaccinated. But I feel like things are kind of back in the groove. Sure, I don't think it's as near as where it was before. But I still feel like the amount of action we're getting the past like 2 or so months is like we're back to normal at this point. Like
Somewhat.
Honestly, in Manhattan, at least where we were, the only difference was capacity was down for indoor capacity, and people are wearing masks. Other than that, like I've been to Koreatown in the summer before, it's just as busy as it was like when we were there. Like,
Well, that's great for business then.
and the thing is, New York City, strangely enough, is one of the safest places in the country right now. I think there's been a couple of days with 0 deaths out of the 8 million residents of New York for COVID,
Nice.
which is a lot. Which is like that's a lot of people. Like, so you know, New York City is actually doing pretty well. It was like relatively busy in most places in Manhattan when we were there. That being said, I slept in the same bed as Warren. That was an experience. You know?
you think it's this weird thing?
I don't kiss and tell. You know, we ain't gonna go with that. You know?
I was the big spoon.
That being said, it was fun seeing people. Hopefully in the future, especially if pandemic really winds down, we could meet more of the listeners. I think that'd be fun.
Yes, please.
We could go eat the all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue, which was amazing. You know, Anita, Where's Anita at? Right, we gotta drag her to this.
Where am I?
So she's in Flowerland.
That's kind of what Warren and I did, right?
Mm.
Anita, what'd you do?
Well, still keeping up with the last bit of Produce 101 Japan season 2. So this is the past week was the second to last episode. So this week will be the finale. So they did. So it's basically gonna be like a double elimination because they eliminated people this previous week, and then it's the final this week. Very interesting. I kind of disagreed with some of the people that got eliminated, as always. But most importantly, I feel like there were just some vocalists that I thought like we kind of need people to be pretty stable. And I feel like we didn't vote for them.
Oh boy!
I was trying out one guy because I thought he had a really, really good performance. And I was really surprised he didn't make it. His name was Hideaki Sasaoka. I think that's his name. Really solid vocalist. And I was really sad that he didn't make it because I thought he had a really good shot. Also, they did a special thing in the voting where they had global audiences look at performances and then send in a vote. And then based on that voting, they were going to save a person. So like they had top 20 plus one who was going to be the
one.
Yeah, who was going to be the global vote rescue. Thankfully I was I agreed with the decision. Thankfully it was a vocalist, so at least we have one more. I don't know how it's gonna turn out for the finale, but the top 5 I would say are pretty stable. I don't think a lot of stuff is gonna switch out. It's just gonna be as always, the last 10, 11, 12 spots are gonna be the ones that are the most surprising. Very interesting. I have no idea what kind of sound they're gonna go for. I think the group is relatively young, like the top 20. So we'll see this week.
It's interesting. Sometimes these competition shows, the rankings are a dumpster fire, and other times it's extremely consistent throughout. Like,
yeah.
But it's a lot funnier when it's a dumpster fire after.
Produce
dumpster
48
fire.
was the biggest dumpster fire ever. And
I
then
remember Miho was on second place at some point.
yeah, Miho was second. Miyu was like third at
Yeah.
one point.
But we know why. We know what happened.
Well, yeah, because the rigging. But like Youth with You season 2 in China, I think they had a variance of one member. Like the only spot that ever moved was the last member.
Dang.
But the rest of it was pretty consistent, like the entire show.
See, I feel like that wouldn't be as fire though.
No, it wasn't. There was one
Yeah.
surprise at the end, and that was fun. But other than that, it was like fairly obvious who was gonna make this group.
Well,
Oh, Warren and I copped some clothing this weekend. This
yes.
past week too.
yeah, I got some shoes. Do you want me to go get them?
It might as well.
It's a lot of effort.
All right, Warren. There's for Nike when they drop hot releases. They have an app called the Sneakers app, right? And at a certain point when they drop the shoes, they have like a online raffle where you just like put in your info and you enter to win the shoes. Warren actually won the shoes. So there we go.
Lucky.
We have the SB Dunks in the Michigan colorway. I don't
Go
think that's
blue.
the specific name, but he has those now. And I was able to cop the Jujutsu Kaisen Uniqlo drop.
Oh, yes.
I feel like my experience with the Uniqlo drop wasn't typical because like it reached 10 a.m. I instantly added everything I wanted to my cart and I instantly checked out. And I don't think it should have been that easy, but it was.
All right, bro, you were copping off Uniqlo. Come on. Who's botting Uniqlo, huh? I'm fighting off all these bots at the sneakers app. This guy.
That's true. Although
This is my first win of my life on a sneakers app.
I'm looking at the website. Yeah, all the ones that I bought are sold out now. So
Dang.
Here's the thing with Uniqlo, right? Like I've been a long Uniqlo fan. I've been buying their stuff since I was a teenager in high school. And there are a couple collections that tend to be very, very popular.
Cause.
Right, Cause was the big one. That's like a street artist, really, who's collabed with Uniqlo for graphic T-shirts. His stuff is like normally in the hundreds, but for Uniqlo, these T-shirts are like $25. So obviously everyone was like, I'm on board. And then like you have like these designer collabs like Lemaire's Uniqlo U, JW Anderson's Uniqlo JW Anderson, J Plus from Jill Sanders. There was an Engineered Garments. All of these high-end designer fashion brands, which the jackets cost thousands and shirts cost hundreds. And here at Uniqlo, you can cop them for $15 and then $50. You know, like that's, if you think about it that way, the price point is very, very appealing. They used to sell out a lot faster, but after COVID, it's been actually very different and a lot more difficult to predict what's gonna sell out instantly and what's not going to. Although the J Plus collection from Jill Sanders was very, very popular. If you look it up, you will see like lines outside stores and everything. And Uniqlo is not really a hype brand, so. Did you guys talk about my shoe already, or should I just?
I talked about it. I talked about the sneakers app. I've entered like 5 of those online raffles for sneakers app. I've never won any of them.
This is honestly my first win. I'm so happy. Also, it's like, okay, here's the thing. Dunks are kind of trendy right now, and I get that. And like, to be frank, these dunks, they resell for like 200 to somewhere between like 800, and like it's not worth that at all. No, like even at the $100 I paid for, like I'm still like kind of pushing it a little bit, but like I really wanted it because they're my school color, you know,
Go blue.
Right, go blue.
I entered a raffle ticket for Warren as well. You know,
you did. Thank you very much.
I did. You know,
you got an L, but I got a win. And like, I forgot what I was saying. Why'd you cut me off?
Something
colors.
about Michigan.
Yeah,
the
go
school,
blue.
the colorway,
Yeah.
go blue.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. See, normally they're not worth the price of resale because Dunks are like one of the most hyped shoes of the year. And I really wanted them, and so I got them. So I'm very, very happy, very, very excited. Yeah, why are we talking about fashion all of a sudden? Speaking of fashion,
I also got to talk about the hat that's on my head that you gave me.
Oh yeah, that's from the brand that there was a T-shirt I wore last week. This is never that. I also bought a hat.
So Warren has a big ass head, right? Like a big ass head. Big ass head mo over there, you know?
Larger than average.
So sometimes he buys hats and they just don't fit on his head.
It doesn't help that I have long hair too.
So this was one of those situations where the hat didn't fit on his head. So, you know, your boy Doug gets the hat then. Let's go.
Well, it looks good on you, and I'm sure you're having fun. So
no, I like the hat. Yeah, I'm thankful. I'm thankful.
Speaking of fashion, one of the stuff Doug's been telling me on the side is that he wants to change the way he looks. So one of the things he wants to do. No? He wants to get in, he wants to dress nicely. You know? It's part of his project to refresh himself.
It's the I was trying to think of a name. Is it the Doug 30 Crisis or some shit like that? but the Doug Project 2022. I don't know what we're calling it. But you know, this week though, the thing I learned this week is, you know, sometimes you need a little bit of a break. This weekend, I was visiting friends. I ate everything I wanted to. I went pretty ham. I know I'm suffering. The scale ain't looking that good right now. You know,
but you had fun.
I had fun. It was worth it. Now I feel energized to try hard again. Today, I was completely strict on the diet. I know tomorrow we're gonna have a good day on the scales. You know.
Now that being said, we didn't get to do everything you wanted to do. 3 of the restaurants you wanted to go were all closed.
Yeah, for some reason, Chinatown on a Sunday wasn't that hot. Like, we ended up being Vietnamese food. It was actually good, though.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. But I was looking forward to Famous Xi'an Foods. So, next time.
You know what? Screw Xi'an Famous Foods for not being open on Sundays. Just saying.
Right, going back to the fashion thing. Warren's World Cup World Season 2 is coming up soon. Remember we did those before a couple weeks ago. Like people liked them. I have a couple new refreshed ideas. We'll bring them back. I do want to use this space of the show to do some fun activities. This week it was fine because we had this whole travel the trip thing we wanted to talk about. But next week, you know, we'll do some stuff. I think Doug's new Fit World Cup is going to be a part of it.
Nice.
Some of the stuff I already started building World Cups for is anime cliche World Cups, K-pop trends World Cup. I'm not sure about that one. I don't think I can come up with 16 of K-pop trends. But maybe tropes. I don't know. Those are coming up. So if you have ideas you guys want to see, send them over. I can't guarantee they'll be a thing, because if I can't think of 16 good ones, they won't be a thing. But send your ideas over. I'll probably do them. On the other hand, I've been listening to a lot of music from the late 2000s and early 2010s this week for some reason. Lots of Kara, lots of Big Bang.
Nice.
Like I was listening to One of a Kind by G-Dragon. You know, like you remember that album? Yeah. Yeah, the one with Crayon and like One of a Kind and that.
Catch your crayon. Sorry.
That is such a good album, man. That was really well made. And like it's, if you listen to rappers nowadays, like Unofficial Boy, or what's the who did Die Young? Oh shoot, I forget. Forever Young, sorry. Lil, the guy from We the Plug. Give me a second. There's
Lil Tachi?
Lil Tachi, yeah.
Oh.
If you listen to rap from like Lil Tachi or like Unofficial Boy especially, you can hear the Big Bang sounds and like the way G-Dragon used to rap. So like, and that makes sense because for a lot of people in my generation, they were kind of the idols we grew up with. So naturally they, inspired the music we make, which goes back into what I was talking about BTS earlier. Because look here, 2021, we're breaking all the records. I'm sure we're gonna keep breaking records for the next couple of years. I don't think BTS is like per se peaked yet. I think we're gonna keep going upwards, for the next couple of years. And I'm interested in seeing the lasting impacts of all this. That's what I'm super excited
legacy.
About. Right. Because I'm coming to realize the legacy they leave behind is gonna be so impactful. It's not gonna be stupid ass Gangnam Style, where it was a meme for 10 months, But like, think about it this way, right? Because like the Beatles, for example, British invasion, the impact Beatles had on the business side of music industry and the art side of music industry. It's been game changing. And people have compared those two groups together, pointing out similarities. And stuff like that makes me really excited for what's coming next, what's coming in the next 5 years, 10 years. I probably won't be doing the podcast in 12 years because at that point, I don't know where I'll probably be an old adult. That's kind of boring. Let's be honest.
Do you want me to transition? I got to transition.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I guess that's a good place to wrap.
You're wondering what's coming up next, right? But next week.
What's coming up next week?
Exactly.
Oh, boy.
On Tuesday, some group named Epix is having a debut, and then Chunga X Cold. That's happening. Wednesday, We Twice, which is the big release of the week. Cards BM solo debut, and Hoya. Thursday, Lightsum, the group from Cube, is having their debut.
Yes.
And then Friday, Yugyum featuring Gray. Wow. Obviously, the Twice comeback, you know what it's called? Alcohol free. That doesn't sound fun to me, but they're doing it.
Drink. You don't drink.
I know I don't drink.
You were drunk after like less than a bottle. Get out of here.
Yeah, but like, all right. Fair. Oh, also on Monday, Uptension. Yeah, Uptension is having
Uptension.
But that's all the comebacks. Uptension, which I think is Up7shin right now. So.
Oh yes,
dude.
But this has been, Soju Talk, your weekly shot at K-pop. We did have some soju this week. This past week. I'm Doug. I'd like to thank Warren and Anita for joining me. We'll see you guys next time when we eat Korean barbecue. Yes, bye everyone.
Bye. We're a mukbang YouTuber.
Special shoutouts to our Fiesta patrons: Based, Mina, Delmonic, Jedi, Goku Mama, Jacob, Luke Daniels, Malfiar, NJ Parks, Tier. Thank you for joining SojuTalk, the weekly shot of K-pop. And special thanks to our Discord server mods: Jacob, K Music Erday, Koala, Malfiar, Max, No Bias Nuna, Tuggles, and Wolf297.